Hey yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Klutz, Legend Killer Pin Boss. You know what time it is, man. I'm breaking down another battle. Well, only a round, my third round versus Cortez. Um, One of my favorite rounds from a writing perspective, just from like a penning perspective. This year I've kind of given different approaches on my style, just kind of showing different things that I can do against JC. I had a specific approach, specific tactic that I wanted to battle him with, and then versus Chilla, it was very different. I feel like those two battles don't really sound the same. This battle was the battle I really wanted to show people my writing and attacking ability, just straight attacks every line type shit, right? So that's what I did. So I can get right into it. The third round, I started it off by saying, they told me don't only be a writer. I'm deciding to make a different promise. Like the links on a necklace, I'll be a part of that change. It's not dependent on it. This nigga harmless. And look, bro, y'all smart, bro. Like if you on this channel, if you checking shit, I value your intelligence. So I'm not going to bore you with breaking down the simple entendres for every line. Like, I'm sure you understand I'll be a part of that change. It's not dependent on it. I'm not going to break that shit down. You feel me? Because I'm not going to, disrespect your intelligence like that. Just really more in-depth, deeper shit that I really fuck with and have, my thought process on some of these lines. But, be a part of that change is not dependent on it. This nigga harmless. Tristan Thompson trying to get a board on Dennis Rodman. Better get a box out for shit get toxic. Another loud bang, or a loud bang could either fuck up your hearing or make you sit unconscious. It's simple logic. Deaf and inaudible is two different options. So just to simple play on words. Deaf, inaudible. It's just a simple play on words as far it sets up this little mini scheme that I'm gonna do with hearing and shit like that. So deaf and audible, different options. Lock and load, I said deaf and inaudible. Tell this Hispanic that I said adios, dope line. Very dope line that I rocked with. I've done a variation of an adios punchline in my earlier years as a battle rapper. Back when I was, only getting shit. That battle might have got like 1,100 views type shit, you feel me? And I knew, man, when I make this a big time, I could do something much better with that. And I think this was my idea of doing something much better with that adios entendre that I feel like no one has really taken advantage of in battle rap. That I think is a dope little double. Adios. Spanish, I said adios. It's more eerie. Some little stupid, like sometimes I like to have my transitions just be a little, just like a little funny. It's not meant to be super technical or nothing. It's just like a little fun transition. It's more eerie. Doc's trying to judge in jury is all that court hearing. Judge and jury, court hearing, and hearing it all follows the whole, scheme of everything. What was next? Y'all disrespect Tez like he ain't got some of the highest stock. So when I started to kill him, but I'm trying to stop because once chorus finish, it'd be a major death like Lollipop. The crowd, it took them the crowd a little bit to catch this one. It's a Lil Wayne Lollipop punchline. If you remember, Static Major, he did the hook for Lollipop, and I thought that this was a lot more common knowledge. And it is, but I guess, honestly, that might be an indictment on me. I might not have articulated it well enough to be caught right then and there. And a couple of people that I've, watched the battle with, like Homeboys and stuff like that, even they didn't really catch it all the way. But yeah, Static Major recorded the chorus to Lollipop and died shortly after. So once chorus finish, it'd be a major death like Lollipop, And it's just, the double is obviously me saying that, when we lose Cortez, it's going to be monumental to battle rap because he is a legend. And I followed it, another one of those follow-up transitions. I said, remember, I met Mr. Carter with the Static, which is another like Lil Wayne is Mr. Carter, Static Major. I met Mr. Carter, and obviously I battled JC earlier this year. So I met Mr. Carter with the Static, showed Chilla he was average. Now I'm bringing Showtime back, court like Byron Scott and Magic. I ain't got to explain that. Call quits. Hey, I wonder if he sees that he dog shit. Remember, I said you got high stock? I lied, Pop. I just wanted to make the bar hit. That's truth there. You really who I'd call Grinch, because you still present, but who cares? I really think that line is dope. What's funny is, I would not have said that bar, honestly, if I knew there would be a crowd there. So a little backstory. Cortez and I were supposed to battle with no crowd. We were supposed to battle with no crowd. So originally, I think on the roof, but they scrapped the idea. I don't know what they're doing with the rooftop shit. I'm not like I'm a rookie. I don't know shit. So, but originally it was supposed to be on the roof, and then just like in an empty room, just Cortez and I, a park or something. So that line, because I knew that bar wouldn't really land in a building. The Grinch, who cares? You feel me? But I felt like it'd be a dope line to put in the rounds. Because like I said, I thought that it was just going to be like, it wasn't going to be no reaction. So I thought I was going to be able to just rap through. And I like that line. You're still present, but who cares? One thing about being a single dad is I had to learn to multitask. In one instance, I was watching the Phoenix game while teaching my boy about the galaxy. Peep how I dug in it. I said the way they plan it, there's Aiden, the sun center. So obviously, this was before the new season had started, me and Cortez. So like, at the time, Aiden hadn't played any games with his current squad, with the Blazers. So all his games were with the Phoenix Suns. So I was reminiscing on this memory about, my son asking me about the galaxy, or me teaching my son about the galaxy, while also watching the game at the same time, being a dad, multitasking. And basically it turned into this double entendre of, the way they plan it, there's 8 in the sun's center. There's 8 planets and the sun's in the middle, but 8 in is the sun's center. I told the nigga, it's like, Dad, I want to see outer space. Hopeful with it, so I let him meet Souffleur. Figured if you want to look a star in the face, I'd let Soul assist him. Now, the regular... The double on top, the double on that is pretty simple. Star in the face. You want to look a star in the face, solar system. So, because I'm calling Souffleur star, stars in the sky, boom. But also, for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Souffleur Soul, he has a tattoo of a star on his face. He has a star in his face. So that's the added little Easter egg part to it. If you don't know, which everybody should know Souffleur at this point, but if you didn't, and you weren't familiar, then there you go. I let Soulless sit niggas ass why I battled Tez in New York. Said, bitch, I'm grown. Plus, I know Spanish, and the best place to CASA is his home. We all understand that part. That's why I planned to kill him. Can't stand this nigga. Shoot his head in the next yard. Now, this next bar, you ain't gotta spray cans to get it. The body on his lawn, but defacing someone else's property. Vandalism. I'm sure I don't have to explain any of that either. One thing that I do like about that bar is the setup of this next bar. You ain't gotta spray cans to get it. I just love that setup. It's nothing like super intricate, no Easter egg behind it. I just really love that as a setup. Gotta spray cans to get his body on his lawn, but defacing someone else's property. Vandalism. It's me, Tez. There's genius in every gene. Yes, my IQ was in the deep 3s when D Wade was making heat checks. Love that line. I'm a D Wade fan, right? So like D Wade, like before he started doing the weird shit after his career, I don't claim nothing post D Wade career, but as a hooper, broken hoop. And so I love that line because obviously he played for the Miami Heat, so he was making heat checks. But also, like, real hoop fans know what a heat check is. A deep 3. It's like, all right, heat check. Let me see how hot I am from 3. You know what I mean? So I do a heat check. So deep 3s, D Wade was making heat. My IQ was in the deep 3s when D Wade was making heat checks. I love that fucking line. They was making heat checks. It's really true. I give you a peek into the psyche. My hip hop is real. I could give knowledge in interview. Shout out to hip hop is real. Shout out to knowledge. If you know of hip hop is real and knowledge, then you should understand that bar. If you don't know about hip hop is real, you need to get in tune. But knowledge, 9 times out of 10, is the guy that's interviewing with hip hop is real. So I'm saying that, I give you a peek into the psyche. I give you a look into the psyche, and my hip hop is real. I could literally give knowledge in interview, but also I could give knowledge in interview with hip hop is real. Knowledge and interview. What was next? Damn straight. I'm just showing the mass that massive passages from my mind could get in the man way. Passages in a mind, it's called a man way. Just, massive passages from my mind could get in the man way. Having meteorite can make the land shake. I go off like earthquakes. Oh dog, you should have known you couldn't escape goats. This is your fault. You don't know what a scapegoat is? I'm one of those guys, guilty. I compare things to basketball. Russell Westbrook is a scapegoat. Everybody always blames him. If something goes wrong, it's his fault. So, so I'm basically doing this whole earthquake scheme type of whatever you want to call it, because it's kind of a scheme, but I'm really just setting up the earthquake shit, meteorite, land shake. I go off like earthquakes. Oh dog, you should have known you couldn't escape goats. This is your fault. So I'm the scapegoat. You couldn't escape goats. This is your fault. I'm calling you a scapegoat. But also, all the earthquake shit leads to this is your fault. It's a fault line. This is your fault. Core is just literally one of those from earlier. Like, just nothing to think too deeply into. It's literally just me saying core because it's another word that coincides. It's just kind of like, it hits the ears kind of a certain way. Core, I'm the best of volcano. Niggas say they lava than me. Volcano lava. Lava to me, the mind of a king. A titan fighting, I righteous on the way to the top of the mountain. If you don't like it, write it. I'll be at the center of any offensive line to hike it. Basically me saying, I'm going to be on a Mount Rushmore one day. And if you have an issue with me making that statement, rap. Like, put it in some raps. You got an issue with that, then step in the ring and rap with me then. Like, prove me wrong through your material type shit. And so I'll be the center of any offensive line to hike it, hike the mountain, but also obviously it is a punchline centered around football. The center in the offensive line, he hikes the ball. Hike it. I'm next. Actually, I actually cut that line. I cut a ball. So look, I was gonna say I'm next up, and then wait and be like, it's not a choke. I'm just giving y'all at home a chance to catch up because it wasn't gonna be a crowd. So I felt like that would have been a dope way to kind of do a fake choke, and then I'm just giving y'all at home a chance to kind of breaking the fourth wall. But I didn't like that idea with it being a crowd there, so I cut it in real time and I didn't say it. And I'm proof of evolution, how the shit's advancing. When I die, they'll have my pen examined along with my cerebrum. And when they get the answers, they'll realize my nervous system has enough knowledge to store a college in my hippocampus. That's one of those lines. I remember I have had people ask me, what is a HIPAA? What is hippocampus? No, it's not a double entendre. Hippocampus is not a double entendre. But I just strategically used that verbiage because of the way that it would come off. Because a college campus, it's a hippocampus, you feel me? But no, it's not a double entendre. That is a very straightforward punchline. They'll realize my nervous system has enough knowledge to store a college in my hippocampus. It's just a straightforward punchline. And if you don't know what the hippocampus is, it's really the part of your brain that processes memory. So, that's where all your memory is stored type shit. Fans of the pen are famished and it ain't right. That's why I'm here. For all the times verses loaded with heartless verbs never saw daylight. I'm not explaining all of this. I've seen people in the comment section already naming out all the pins that I named, so I don't have to. You could just go watch the battle, read the comments. I understand the cons, but it's chaos that we ain't respected as more legit. It ain't quantum physics, bro. All us penmans was born for this. I admire so many legends that y'all won't quit skipping. Then when it's time for a pen, y'all go get a puncher. I call it nitpicking. The shit ignorant. The culture would rather talk about NDAs than sick writtens, but its business is not an excuse to be a bitch nigga. I'm a sure bet, a born threat. That's why we here, cause legends invite more tests. Ain't many legends in this culture better than Cortez. And obviously that was a misdirection bar. It seems like I'm giving Cortez his props, but then at the last minute, because my name is Cortez, I'm Cortez. So that's the round. One last like Easter egg I want to leave with you. Is actually Easter egg for this entire battle, and I'm not really going to reveal it. It's something that I will leave for you guys to try to figure out. But the hints that I will give is there's bars, there's multiple lines in my all three rounds that coincide with this Easter egg, and the sweater that I'm wearing in the battle plays a factor. It plays a part in it, and it has something to do with Cortez's career path directly and what we all know Cortez for. So that's the hints. So the Easter eggs, it has something to do with what we all know Cortez for, and it has something to do with my sweatshirt, and there's multiple lines in all three rounds that favor this Easter egg. There's a connection to me there too. So it's a connection, between me and Cortez's career, my sweatshirt, and then there's multiple lines in this round, the second and the first, that all coincide. But it's one of those where if you know, you know. You kind of really got to be in the know to catch this Easter egg. You can't just be some random motherfucker and know what I'm talking about, sadly. And sometimes that's how my Easter eggs are. That's why I call them Easter eggs, because you can still enjoy all three of those rounds without knowing this part. But if you do know it, then it's a little bit of added context. So hope y'all enjoy, man. Shout out Rookies vs. Sophomores, December 17th, Martinis in Fort Washington, man. Get your tickets. Pull up, man. It's going to be a movie, man. Salute.